Hi, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Core Boy. I'm back. I know, I was gone for 2 days, but I'm here. We're still doing the thing. We got some stuff to talk about. We got some unfortunate things to talk about. Definitely some things that happened to come to light yesterday that I think kind of really put the Halo community and you know, the respective fans of the series kind of at like a holy shit, we missed out on so much and we didn't even know it. And honestly, at this point, I kind of expect nothing less, but fuck it. I do want to talk about it because it was something that really caught me off. Um, and it's just kind of, I don't even know where to start on it. It's expected at this point. I expect nothing less from the companies behind, you know, Halo, which of course I think most people know. Um, 343 doesn't really own Halo. It's a Microsoft IP. They just make the games. I think most people understand that at this point, and that's kind of the unfortunate thing with Halo at this point is yes, 343 makes these games, but Microsoft has a lot of decisions that they make pertaining to the games. Okay, we got Bandit Evo spawn. Let's go, big W. That's a big win. So here we go. We're gonna make this work a little bit. Alright, he ran off. Alright. Did he pick it and slide back, or what did he do? Yep. But yeah, so there was a lot of stuff that came to light, and it's stuff that I really can't miss talking on because, well, as someone who plays Halo every single fucking day, has been consistently grinding this game out for months at this point. I'll be honest, I found out about how many hours I had. It clocked in at just under a year. And, yeah, I was not surprised, but, I felt some way. I was like, holy shit, wow. I really don't have a life. But, I mean, it's sick. Nonetheless, like, it's awesome. Nope. I'm over you doing that. I'm going to take the Mangler now. That's almost out of ammo. Because I'm going to be safe and play this smart. But yeah, so yesterday, of course, I mentioned in the last video of the huge comparisons that are coming between Halo and Helldivers that just got released, and how, I think it's just kind of nonsensical. I think anytime we see a sci-fi shooter, the first people say, oh, it's like Halo, in comparisons of the two. Well, Flood. It was coming up kind of around that time, and a lot of stuff came with that. A lot of arguments on Twitter, a lot of hatred for the Helldivers community from Halo players. Even though, like, Halo players themselves enjoy the game, they're like, "What the fuck? Why are you acting this way towards our series?" Just a lot of the typical gaming shit. You know how it is. If you guys have been playing games long enough, you know how this stuff goes. I still stuck you, so you're still dead. I just, I died myself. It's fine. But yeah, so yesterday I was sitting on Twitter. I was just kind of looking around, and I noticed a tweet that was, pretty fucking crazy, from Mr. Kevin Schmidt, who, goddamn, that man's tenure of games that he's worked on is absolutely insane. Some that I absolutely love, for example, being Bully, which is an old Rockstar title. If you guys remember that game, you're goated. And if you've never played Bully, you should do yourself a favor and go back and play it because it's phenomenal. If I'm not mistaken, now he works for Epic Games. He's the senior projects and senior designer at Epic Games, which is awesome. I mean, as someone who enjoys Fortnite, I play that game quite often. Played it? No, we didn't play it on stream yesterday, but I play quite a bit. Especially now, like the no build mode in the last 2 seasons have been really fun to play with friends a lot, just because it's available everywhere and I can just play it with whoever. With like my friends who are on PlayStation, or if they play on Switch, PC, Xbox, whatever it may be, I can just hop on with them. And, well, to me, that's huge. I can just have all my friends who may not be able to afford a PC or be able to, get one console over the other. So I think it's overall just a net positive, and it's just fun. Like that's really all there is to it. But he made a tweet yesterday, which I'm getting ready to read off after I get all this fucking fight, which was somebody was talking about like how what is it? I can only imagine a list of Halo games and ideas that got pitched, never got greenlit. Probably a gold mine of cool stuff. Um, because there was a tweet that came out that said apparently there was an ODST game that got just like, no, it got the no-go on it. That was supposed to be a lot like Helldivers. That was going to take place with the ODSTs, and that's just like, what Halo player doesn't want that? Like, I've been wanting something similar to that for so long because I think it would just be cool in the Halo universe and it could be done really, really well. And Kevin, with, I think good intent, just kind of, explaining the whole situation as best as he could. Of course, I will take into mind here that there's definitely NDAs that are involved here, so he can't say a lot on it, and that's completely okay. But he came out with, we must have pitched 20 to 30 game ideas over the 12 years I was there at 343 Industries that would have totally worked in the Halo universe. Many single-player and multiplayer ODST-themed ones, some galaxy-spanning ones, some more intimate ones, and one that was really dark. Now, let's be real here, 20 to 30 games, that's fucking insane. Now, sure, were some of them probably, like, not the greatest ideas ever? No, probably not all of them were, like, that great. Some could have worked maybe as, like, an add-on to one of the future mainline titles or something of that nature. But 20 to 30 games that were to be there to expand the story, to expand characters, and everything in between. And just for Microsoft to go, fuck you. Of course, a lot of my criticisms with Halo anymore do come on the Microsoft side and not necessarily 343. Because, yet again, you have to remember, Microsoft owns the biggest things in Halo. They're going to be the big decision makers for the games, no matter what. Like, because they own the rights. So it's going to mostly be like, we want this because this makes us money. It's not going to look at it like what the fans want. It's going to be what makes them the most in that year. And I think most people need to take that into consideration and realize, like, that is just the reality of it at this point. I mean, I don't feel like even this season they did, like, all they wanted to do, because Microsoft was like, well, the seasons aren't making enough money, so we gotta bring some money in now. Which, most understand, is not a good thing for games. It's honestly just really shitty, and it puts games in a really bad spot most of the time, which is, unfortunate as it may be. It's really how a lot of this shit goes. But yeah, hearing about that yesterday, I was like, dude, think about how many games we probably lost just because fucking Microsoft was like, nope, this isn't going to bring in enough money this year. No single-player experiences that are super deep and well done, and, all these spin-off games where you could really build upon the story, which can attract a lot more Halo players. They'll be like, oh my god, there's so much of the story I didn't know about, and now I'm kind of interested because it looks really cool, or something of that nature. They're like, no, you can't have that. And it really does feel like a lot of ways that Microsoft has just, like, completely lost itself in the Halo community. And if it was to get worse than what it is currently, I would, at one point I would do the same thing that I did with COD, and I would just stop playing. The only thing with Halo really that does, like, is the multiplayer is really fun, and games don't come out every single year. It's every, 4 or 5, sometimes 6 years. It really just depends on the lifespan. But yeah, like that part, I'm kind of just like, it's just unfortunate, because as much as I love Halo, I see 343, like, it seems, not 343, but Microsoft is, like, kind of killing it. And of course, I think a lot of people know at this point that, like, the main reason Bungie left was because Microsoft kind of made them hate Halo. Like, they were just like, we don't want to work on this anymore because we can't do the things that we want to do because it's not what Microsoft wants us to do, so we might as well just go make our own thing. Which is really unfortunate, because I would have loved to have seen what Bungie did with Halo if they would have stayed with it. Like, I always get curious, like, what would have Bungie done with Halo, 4 and 5 and everything else that we've got? Like, what direction would they have went with the story, with the artistic designs and everything in between there? Because it's just something that generally does, like, bring me a lot of, like thought, because I'm just like, well, there's so much. Like, Bungie is always done really well in the art department and the storytelling department of their games. While not always been perfect, because let's be real here, Destiny is kind of at the lowest point it's ever been, and it's not great, but they have a good track record for the most part. I don't know why that guy did not drop that. That's crazy. I guess he just really wanted that fucking ball. But yeah, so I just sitting there, like, kind of wondering those things. Shoulder. Oh man, I thought that would stick too. It, just kind of makes me curious. But then I look back on it and I'm like, yeah, Microsoft definitely did kind of make them hate the series. But of course, Bungie has a really cool looking title this year, at least coming out. It's back on the original IP Marathon. I'm super excited to see what that's about and see how it plays. It looks fucking sick. I would love to point that out, like, first and foremost, that it just looks good. Like it just looks... I just fucking grenade at myself. Okay, boom. Got it. But yeah, so I'm super excited to hop into that game whenever it does come out. I will be doing that. I will probably be doing some videos on it just because, well, damn, it looks really fucking good, and I just want to play it. And I love a good game, man. You know, that's 90% of my existence. But yeah, I would definitely love to hear some people's opinions on the shit that came out yesterday. There's some stuff that you can go read of it on Twitter from Kevin. Not a lot was able to come out. Like I said, of course, you got to keep in mind that there's definitely NDAs in effect still to this day, to where they can't talk about those things. Like, they are simply not allowed to at this very moment. Doesn't mean in the future they won't. No. I would say that definitely those NDAs are out of the, you know, picture, that they will probably open up more, and shed some light on some things. And I can only hope whenever that stuff happens that it leads to good for the community as a whole and the game as a whole, more than it leading to bad for the game and the community itself. Oh, I didn't see him there. But yeah, I mean, that's all I can really hope for at this point, and something that, you know, I just hope it changes in the future. I would love to see more side stories in Halo, more things that just aren't about Master Chief. I would just love to see that. You know, Halo 3 ODST is one of my favorite Halos that has ever came out. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. It's something that I look back on fondly. I remember, you know, getting it the day that it came out and playing the absolute fuck out of it, whether it was the campaign or Firefighter, whatever it may be. I just remember putting so many fucking hours into that game because of just single-handedly, because of how good it was. It's a phenomenal game. It's amazing. It's super fun. The story is so well written. It's dark. It's grimy. It's, to a point, like, kind of depressing. But it's so well done, and it definitely expands upon the Halo universe in a lot of ways that we hadn't seen before. You know, like, I would love to see a singular Flood story game. Like, I would love to get a game that really expands on the lore of the Flood and the types of enemies that come with the Flood, or, like, how the virus works and all that. I think that would just be sick. It would add definitely, like, something kind of insane to the fucking series, to be honest. Something that we haven't seen before, something more like a horror game / Dead Space-ish type vibes. That's just stuff I'd like to see. It's just definitely disappointing to see where Microsoft has forced them to go and what directions they want them to go compared to where they want to go. And just seeing, like, all these things that got scrapped over the years, it's just... man, it makes it sad to be a Halo fan sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. But of course I'm still gonna play the game, so that I do love them. And I think 343 with Infinite, like, really hit the mark on how to do a Halo in this style, where do like a middle ground of OG Halo to Reach and Beyond. So that's one thing I really love about this thing. They got rid of the class systems. They kept, like, the movement in. They did the abilities, but they did them where their spawns in on the map, and you don't just pick them out in a menu. They have, like, the classic weapon pickup system with the classic setup of AR and pistol, or depending on what you're playing, AR, BR sidearm, or bandit, and that's it. But yeah, I think they're doing, you know, good things with this game, and I hope it continues that way. Other than that, though, guys, that's really all we have to talk about today. My name's Coreboy. I love you all. Yeah. Later, dudes.